It's been a long time since our last video, and there's been a lot that's been going on in our lives that have just kept us from posting and updating the vlog at all, just because it all seems just a little bit too personal. Yeah. So as many of you guys might have known, or as Cynthia's been posting, we were expecting a little boy, and throughout the journey of the pregnancy, there was some challenges. We thought at about 12 weeks that we had miscarried. I went to the hospital with unexplained bleeding, and that was scary. But we, after a few days, you know, the bleeding had stopped, and we got things checked out, and everything looked good.
The ultrasound checked out good.
Yeah, the ultrasound checked out fine. The baby was there, and good. Then we kind of got thrown for a loop a little bit. So after our first ultrasound, they found that the baby, who I think was maybe 3 months at the time.
Yeah, we went in for our 18-week gender ultrasound.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's when they found that he had the enlarged kidney going on.
Yeah, so there's like an enlarged kidney, a 2-vessel umbilical cord where there's supposed to be 3. And those two things were some flags that in a sense sent us to Edmonton to get all of our ultrasound work done there, because they just have better technology to see things. So we went into Edmonton, kind of not really knowing what was going on, and there they confirmed the 2-vessel umbilical cord. They confirmed that there was like an enlarged ureter coming out of the kidney, which could have, you know, caused some sort of kidney blockage or something with the bladder. The nuchal fold, which is the skin at the back of the head, was increased in thickness. And yeah, so all of those things are signs or indicators that have increased the chances of a genetic condition like Down syndrome or trisomy 13 or trisomy 18. Some which are lethal and some which are not. So when we found that out,
it was really scary. It was like a nightmare appointment.
We were thrown with all this information and talking with genetic counselors and figuring out what our options are of being able to find out definitively or not definitively of whether or not the baby was going to be born with a genetic condition. They also found what they suspected were 1 or 2 hemivertebrae, so underdeveloped vertebrae, which can lead to you know, some types of congenital scoliosis, you know, curving of the spine. So we just we were thrown. We wanted to post something after that, but I don't think we ever brought ourselves to get that done.
Mm-hmm.
We did have lots of subsequent ultrasounds and meetings with doctors, in which we actually felt better after that initial one. Mm-hmm. We knew that we had an increased chance of genetic conditions, but most of those genetic conditions go with heart problems. And we had a fetal heart echo done, and the heart looked good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, looked good, so we weren't concerned about, we were less concerned about genetic conditions. We were a bit concerned with the vertebrae, because we wouldn't know what was going to happen there. And then, you know, doctors had told us that people have hemivertebrae all the time and don't even know it. You know, because there's varying degrees that can affect someone's spine. Mm-hmm. And the kidneys, well, we talked to the kidney specialist, and she said, you know, we'll see how it goes. However, one of the kidneys looks totally functional, and so it might not be an issue, really. People live with 1 kidney all the time without any like adverse effects to their day-to-day lives. I think that's pretty much it. for those things.
Yeah.
Baby was growing a bit on the smaller side, according to the ultrasounds, which we expected with the 2-vessel umbilical cord and our kids being tiny anyways.
And then the kidney.
Which one?
The kidney thing as well, kind of.
Oh yeah, they
have a chance of a smaller baby.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with the kidney not functioning right, the chances of that was having a smaller baby is true too.
Mm-hmm.
So we were kind of preparing ourselves for what is to come once the baby was delivered.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of one of the main reasons why we didn't post any videos yet, is we just weren't...
We weren't sure what was going to happen.
Yeah. But everything was going good, and baby's growing and moving a lot. I'm on summer vacation. We went traveling. We went to the Calgary Zoo, to Drumheller, took the boys out. Cynthia's feeling very, very pregnant.
It's pretty swollen. And
yeah, it's hot summer. You know, we were laughing about, you know, that'll be, you know, it just is what it is, and, you know, enjoying every moment.
Yeah.
And then one night, Cynthia told me that she hadn't felt the baby move in a while, and so she was concerned about it. So we slept that night, and then the next morning, you know, she said it still hadn't felt him move. So it had been a while, so we decided, you know, we'll go to the hospital and get it checked out. So we went to the hospital. The nurse brought in the heartbeat monitor to check the heartbeat, and she was obviously flustered.
Mm-hmm.
Enough that she called our doctor, and our doctor came.
She came really fast.
really fast. Within about 10 minutes, I think she was at the hospital. And she brought in her portable ultrasound and her Doppler, and she couldn't find a heartbeat. So then she got us in with the ultrasound technician about 5 minutes later, so we could see, and that was confirmed. We lost him. That was afternoon of July 17th.
It was the scariest moment of our life.
From that point on, the next few days were a blur. We left our kids with my brother and sister-in-law, and so we came back, and they were the first ones here, which was amazing. Cynthia's mom is 6 hours away, and my parents, who live in town with us and who are our usual support for everything, were in the middle of their 3-week trip to England. So I spent that afternoon calling all of our closest family and friends to let them know that we lost the baby. Now, all through that day, Cynthia is still carrying him, which I can't imagine how that felt.
It was really awful.
And then we booked in the hospital for the next day, the 18th of July, to deliver. So they pumped Cynthia full of the labor-inducing drugs. And Cynthia and I...
9 a.m.
At 9 a.m. we left the boys with my brother and sister-in-law, Jared and Emma. And we were in the hospital. We waited for 14 hours before our little boy, Leif Francis Madsen, was born. I forget what time it was, 10:30?
It was after 10, yeah.
I think 10:30 at night he was born. That was the hardest and one of the most beautiful times of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure yours too.
Mm-hmm.